If you're considering an MBA degree after engineering, pause for a moment because this decision can accelerate your career or set it back by years. I'm Vinay Bansal. I've worked as senior engineering manager at top tech companies. I've interviewed and coached thousands of engineers. And one thing I keep seeing is people taking the MBA path for the wrong reasons at the wrong time and paying a heavy price for it. So before you commit 2 years and thousands of dollars, ask yourself one question. What problem are you trying to solve? If the answer isn't clear, then the MBA won't fix it. In this video, I'll tell you exactly when an MBA is worth it and when it becomes a distraction. I'll break down real scenarios from deep tech to product to engineering management. And by the end, you'll have a simple mental model to decide what to do next, based on your goals, not trends. Okay, so let's start with the biggest misconception about MBA in tech. Imagine you are the kind of engineer who loves coding. Architecture decisions excites you. You enjoy reviewing PRs, designing microservices, scaling distributed systems. You see yourself as staff engineer, principal engineer, maybe architect. Please listen carefully. An MBA will not help you get there. In fact, it will distract you. Because the core skill needed for senior IC roles is technical depth. You need hands-on exposure to complex systems, migrations, production firefighting. Business schools won't teach that. If deep tech is your calling, put your energy into solving bigger system problems at work, scaling distributed systems deeply, contributing to cross-team architecture decisions, mentoring and leadership within engineering. Maybe pursue a master's in computer science or machine learning if academic interests you. I'll tell you what I look for when I'm hiring a staff engineer. I'm evaluating whether you can guide architectural decisions, influence across org, unlock engineers, and raise technical quality. An MBA on your resume for that role? Honestly, it doesn't move the needle. It won't compensate for a shallow technical experience. It might even make me wonder if you are unclear about your path. So if you are aiming for deep engineering mastery, skip the MBA. Build your portfolio of hard engineering achievements. Now let's switch scenarios. You're burnt out of coding, or more precisely, coding no longer drives you. You want to influence business directions. You want visibility into strategy and markets. Maybe you're curious about how pricing decisions are made, how budgets get approved, how companies evaluate ROIs, or maybe you're building a startup or planning to. This is where an MBA becomes powerful, because now your goal is to pivot from engineering execution to business leadership. You need to learn structured business thinking, financial literacy, org strategy, product and market research, communication at execution level. These are skills that engineering roles don't teach. There's also a talent filter aspect. For roles in consulting firms, product strategy groups, venture capital, corporate development, many of these paths require or at least strongly prefer an MBA from a respected school. In these cases, the degree acts as a door opener. It signals to recruiters that you are serious about the business path, not just experimenting. It gives you credibility with executives. It gives you vocabulary, which matters more than you think. Because when you sit in a budgeting meeting with finance, they won't wait for you to Google what EBITDA means. So if your desired future involves business roles, strategy roles, entrepreneurship, VC, leadership outside an MBA done from right school can accelerate your transition dramatically. Now the engineering management dilemma. This is a confusing one, and this is where a lot of engineers get stuck. You want to become an EM or senior EM, maybe skip coding, lead teams, coach people, approve designs, drive execution. Here's the comfortable truth. Most engineering managers at top tech companies don't have MBAs. Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Most of us got here through experience. And when I say experience, I mean leading projects end to end, handling outages and on-call escalations, mediating conflicts, influencing cross-team decisions, mentoring engineers, navigating promotions and compensation conversations, defending roadmaps, managing stakeholders. No MBA course can replicate this. If I'm hiring an engineering manager and I have two candidates, one has an MBA, the other has 2 extra years of on-the-ground leadership experience, I will almost always pick the experienced person, because that work is hard to fake. The MBA only acts as a tiebreaker in some scenarios. It might add polish to someone who is otherwise equivalent in every other way, but equivalence almost never happens in real hiring. Someone always has stronger execution, deeper technical context, or better leadership judgment. See, don't misunderstand this. I'm not saying MBAs are useless, but if your goal is engineering management inside tech orgs, an MBA is not a requirement. It won't guarantee acceleration. So ask yourself, do you want to manage engineers or manage business? Because those two are different careers. Now let's talk about some very important things no one tells you. The subtle details that determine whether an MBA actually pays off or become a sunk cost bias. First, the institute matters a lot. I know this sounds elitist, but reality is blunt. The curriculum difference between a Tier 1 MBA and a Tier 3 MBA is small, but opportunities are drastically different. What you're really paying for is network brand pull, access to alumni in leadership, companies that recruit directly, credibility in leadership decisions. If you spend 2 years and significant money at a non-reputed institute, the ROI becomes questionable. Second, let's talk opportunity cost. Engineers often underestimate this. You don't just pay tuition, you pay lost career momentum. Imagine those same 2 years working at a fast-moving product company or leading a massive critical project at your current job. You might achieve growth bigger than what the MBA gives you. Third, networking. A surprising number of engineers are introverted and assume networking means handing out business cards. That's not networking. Networking means being in room where decisions happen, maintaining relationship with ambitious peers, being exposed to new ideas early, having people willing to recommend you. MBA gives you structured opportunities to create those relationships. Sometimes that one intro to a VP or founder changes your trajectory more than anything in the textbook. So how should you decide? Let's simplify this. Forget trends, forget pressure from peers or family. Forget stories on LinkedIn. Here's the question to ask. Where do you want to create impact in the next decade? If your answer involves technology itself, building systems, scaling infra, contributing to open source, then your growth lies in engineering mastery. Seek roles and projects that stretch you technically. You don't need business school for that. If your answer involves business levers like influencing strategy, building companies, deciding what and why to build instead of how, then an MBA might unlock those doors. But only if you choose the right school and extract maximum value from the network, not the lectures. If your answer involves leading engineers like becoming an EM, director or VP of engineering, then ask yourself if you can aspirate that path through experience, mentorship and leadership opportunities inside your current job. In most cases, that path doesn't require an MBA. It requires demonstrating leadership repeatedly until the promotion becomes undeniable. Another thing to consider is timing. Many engineers pursue MBA at the wrong time. Do not jump into it as an escape from boredom or frustration. Do it when you have clarity of purpose, when the benefits outweighs the opportunity cost, and when you know exactly how it fits your growth trajectory. If you do choose MBA, squeeze every drop of value out of it. Build relations intentionally. Ask professors tough questions. Leverage alumni network. Participate in case competitions. Seek internships where you apply business concepts in real setting. Treat it as an accelerator, not a break from the work. If you don't pursue an MBA, that's equally valid. You are not closing doors, you are simply choosing a different path to leadership. There are principal engineers earning more than directors. There are EMs who grew through hands-on experience. There are product founders who build successful companies without formal business training. The real mistake is blindly doing what everyone else is doing. If you're still not sure, then before committing, talk to someone who has walked the path you want. Don't trust marketing material. Seek mentorship, have an honest conversation. The MBA question is not about the degree itself, it's about whether the degree aligns with the future you want. Once you answer that question honestly, the decision becomes obvious.